What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review today. Actually, this is a knockoff review. This is the knockoff MP-10. You can see it comes in a MP-10 style box, but it's like half the size because we got no trailer inside here. Yeah, everything on the back is just flat ripped from the MP-10 box. And yeah, you know, it is what it is. Don't buy this if you're actually looking for a legitimate MP-10. In fact, the pictures on here are not actually showing the actual product, which is interesting. But it's not bad. We'll talk about the price and stuff later. Inside the box, you of course get the axe, which I still don't care about. It's a little bit darker of an orange than the previous one. I don't have it handy, so I can't show you. You of course get the matrix here, and it is still a die-cast metal with the painted centerpiece here and the translucent gem in the center. Here's the one from the Japanese MP-10. They feel exactly the same except for the paint colors here. And then, of course, you get the rifle, which still compacts up and flips on out. And pretty decent paint apps on there. Here's the actual Japanese one for comparison. I think if you put them side by side, nobody'd be able to tell much of the difference except for this piece being just a little bit different. So it's nice that there is still some kind of differentiation here to show you that they're not really, you know, it's not the real one. And interestingly enough, I don't know if you can really tell this right now, but the knockoff is a bit bigger in the guns. And this is going to be really apparent when we come to the actual figure. Now this MP-10, here he is right here, and he sports a couple of fixes and upgrades over what the original one had. For instance, you've now got these windshield wipers here, which are not really attached to the windshield. I don't really care for them. I see what they did. Well, I'll show you in a second. But, you know, they gave these windshield wipers. I don't know who was clamoring for them or why they were needed, but they are here. Coming down to the legs here, these panels now have kind of like a little set of ridges here, which when in the right position will actually kind of clip in a little bit to hold them a little bit better against the leg. I never had problems with the old one, no big deal. The big improvement here though is that his finger is now pinned, so that finger is not coming off, which is a huge problem with the standard MP-10. Now you can see here on my little chest ab piece thing, that pin has not been pushed in all the way, and I can fix that later, but I wanted to show you guys how he came out of the package. Now in terms of the paint here, I don't know if you can tell, but we kind of got some different colors of plastic going on here. Not a huge problem, but it is a noticeable one that is not present on the proper MP-10. But you do get a lot more paint apps, which does end up making this guy look just a little more complete. Silver legs here with a kind of a darker, maybe a gunmetal silver paint job to pick out parts. The little chest piece is carried on. You got the top lights, a little bit of messy paint on the top there. Kind of all this little accent detailing, which is really nice. Yeah, not bad. And you can take, whoops, forgot to fold these up. You can take this, of course, open it. It's a bit more stiff. Obviously he was cast, well, no, I don't know if he looks like he was cast out of red and then they sprayed black in there. I'm not entirely sure why you would do that. But we can take his gun here and rotate it on up. And I've never been a fan of how that works. And then just kind of put it in here. And mind you, this is the first time I'm doing this. I figured I didn't need a test run on this guy since I've owned something like 4 variations of this guy already. So this is a problem. So we're figuring this all out together. This gun, oh, there it goes. Just had it a little bit off. It has to be a little more precisely configured than the one on the actual MP-10, but there we go. It actually does fit into the thing, and it's looking good. I didn't think it was gonna fit there. Getting it out is kind of a pain. There we go. And of course, we can also make him hold his gun Uh-oh, there's another pin I'm just noticing needs to be hammered in just a bit more. I think maybe the QC on these guys could have used another look over, but it doesn't seem bad, and certainly something that is easily fixed, not an actual break in the toy. Interestingly enough, there's no grooves cut out of his hand here to actually make holding his gun all that easy. So we've got these little tabs here, and there is no piece in the hand to hold it, and the fingers kinda don't look necessarily all that good. Let's actually bring in proper MP-10 here to compare with. And if you notice one thing right off the bat, MP-10 is smaller than this guy, so this knockoff is actually upscaled just a tiny bit. And you can see I have them pretty well in the same exact pose. And MP-10 is definitely sitting maybe a quarter inch, a centimeter shorter than this new one. So yeah, that was kind of a strange revelation to figure out. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. Comparison there. Here's MP-10's hand. You can see that every single finger is properly sculpted, whereas this one here is really cheating on that. But I don't know. It's not horrible, I suppose. It could be way worse. I probably won't notice it for the most part, aside from just noticing it. I would have liked if they actually painted the eyes. You see my MP-10 is now sporting the Year of the Horse Optimus Prime eyes, because I really like the painted eyes. Chest gap actually is maybe a little bit better on the actual knockoff here. We still get a top gap here, but I feel like it's a little bit less noticeable than it is on MP-10 proper. And of course we can open this on up, and when I first got this, he was kind of sitting like this, like, ooh, that's a horrible chest gap. And upon opening it, I saw that we just, you know, needed a little bit of extra push and a push down, and yeah, everything fits really nice. So we can open up the little chrome piece, of course, and if we can get our fingers in there, which I never can. Come on. Come on. You know you wanna. I hate when a toy argues on camera with me. Come on. As you can see, they haven't made this any easier. Oh, there we go, compared to our original MP-10. Let's put him back together now properly. So there we go, we can still open that up, and we can take his matrix, and it fits in there just perfectly, as you would expect it to do. So there's that. And see, this is why I don't like these wipers that are in the way, and let's bring back MP-10 so you can see and compare that there. When you're closing these, my fingers get caught on these all the time. I feel like I'm gonna put a little dab of glue on there and just glue them to the window so they don't move. This is an improvement that I don't think was necessary. I think that it's a detriment. And when you compare him to MP-10, we got the windshield wipers. They're just not like they're on, and I don't understand why someone was like, yeah, Optimus needs nipple windshield wipers, you know, because I guess he sweats profusely out of his window nipples. I don't know. But, yeah, don't really care for that thing going on there. So, that's pretty much it for the robot mode. Everything else works just as you would expect. You can pull out the arms to get a great range of motion. The joints may be a little bit more floppy than MP-10 proper here, who is quite a bit more stiff on these arm joints. But I don't know, it doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not sure if tightening it would fix it, or clear nail polish. I'm sure there's something that can be done. I'd have to take a look at it, but it doesn't feel too horrible. He should be at least able to hold up his gun, which is what's important. Actually, that hand cannot. This one doesn't have the problem. So this Optimus is right-handed. That is for sure. So let's try transforming this guy, and let's see what happens and what surprises lie for us. So let's go ahead and we'll flip his waist right around here, And we'll take these little back pieces, and I see a slight problem here, that because of the change in dimensions here, it's a little bit tougher to get these past the arms. So we're gonna wait on these just for now, and let's work on some more of this so we don't stress out any plastic there. We'll open this on up again and unpeg all this stuff, and hopefully doing this will let us get to what we need. We'll go ahead and open this matrix compartment again because it needs to be open for the transformation. And if we flip, yeah, that's kind of the way to do it. Flip his arms all the way up, and that'll give you the better clearance to get around here, which is not something you need to do for the standard MP-10. We can take this and we will flip the tires on around. He is sporting nice rubber wheels, as you would all hope. Well, MP-10s are a little bit nicer, but these are still pretty good. These rotate all the way around. Make sure we have all this stuff open. It feels like it actually only really wants to go one way. When I try to flip it the other way, it kind of locks, and I feel like I'd be forcing it, so be aware of that if you pick up this guy. So we'll flip his other piece on down here. There we go. And make sure that these are open, like so. And then we'll take this, and of course you just plug that little like spine piece into the front there, like that, and you should have the notch for the gun right there. And we'll make sure that these are open all the way, like so. We'll take the front of the truck and we'll bring that on down. Okay, you can turn it, but it's definitely more difficult to go the other way on this particular version. I don't know if yours will be like that if you get it or not. Flip his head on down. Let's go to the arms here. Make sure that we've got his fist all closed, and we will open this little compartment, which is really rather tough. Spin this thing all the way like that, and close this on up. And we'll do the same thing for this side. Open it, spin it, and we have to go the other way because that pin sticking out is actually stopping me a little bit. Actually, something else is stopping me here. His fist actually is having trouble clearing the back piece of plastic here. So we gotta kind of move it a little. I'll have to shave off a little bit of the inside here, but you can get it into position and it looks just fine. So we have him like this. We'll flip his arms around, push these on up, which are real solid. Rotate these on back, and make sure we have everything in position here, like so. And then one thing that I like to make sure of is that we've got these little tabs in position, in the proper position here on his waist piece, so everything just sits properly. So we'll do that again on this side, because I found if you don't, you sometimes get some extra little gaps on this guy. And this is also one of the reasons I wanted to do this review, because the only review I saw of this guy online shows him particularly gappy looking, and I wanted to, well, A, see for myself, and B, inform everybody else out there if that is true or not. So there we go, we got that. Let's make sure that that is sitting inside its respective piece up here. There we go. And I forgot something. So we undo that, and we take these little things out. I don't know how many times I've actually forgotten these little stair type things. So let's try that again. Put these back in. Alright, make sure that that is in. Perfect. Make sure that that is in. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get a light down here. See the tab back there? So we're gonna just make sure that we get that so it's sitting properly in there. There we go. Paintwork is a little bit rough on the front here, but not too terrible. So let's get this and make sure everything here is all pushed in as far as it can go. Like so. It's not looking too horrible here. We'll close up the front of the truck up here. And then we'll take this and we'll close this on up and peg it together with the headlights and stuff. On this side too. And you know what? Overall, I think the front of the truck looks a lot less loose and gappy than some of the previous pictures I've seen of this guy. That's not looking too horrible. This side feels like something's not quite sitting quite correctly. We'll look at that after though and see if there's more that can be done. Actually, maybe it just needs to sit flush. That's a little bit better. Not bad. So we'll come back to the legs here, and of course we push these little things. There we go. That is quite the difficult telescoping piece there. Alright, that is a struggle for sure. I don't know if it's the extra paint, and I just noticed the back is painted. That's pretty nice. Definitely could use some kind of lubrication or something inside here to make this go on up. I believe that is as far up as it goes. MP-10 reference? Nope, should go higher. Let's try this leg and see if we can make this happen. Holy crap, that is tough. Alright, I think we got it there. There we go. Now it's definitely in its proper positioning. Whew, that is tough. That is almost scary. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't like that it feels like this little piece here, yeah, it looks like this little piece is set back a little bit further, and that's really what's kind of causing what I'm not liking on the front end here, but we'll see. So we'll come back to our feet. Let's finish this thing up. We rotate this on around on both sides, and I may be wrong, but it looks like these have a much bigger tab in here to connect a little bit better. That is most definitely better than the regular MP-10. And we'll close this on up, and notably we got some tail lights here compared to our MP-10. I like that. That's a nice little improvement. Take these and peg them together, which never seem to work on MP-10. And they tend not to really work here too well, but since the legs hold together better, you really can't tell that they're not working all that well. And then we'll come down here and we'll take these and we'll flip these. These are a lot less scary feeling on that little hinge. MP-10 does have those little tabs here, but for some reason they feel more pronounced on this particular version. Then we'll take these fuel tanks and swing them on forward, and if we did our legs correctly, they should peg on in. So something is not quite correct. There we go. Actually, it's when I peg these feet together that I can't quite get those fuel tanks to sit in. So we'll just leave the feet like this because that doesn't really bother me very much. And we'll drop. Oh, that is tough. We won't touch the smokestacks. It should go down. I don't know why it's not going down. There we go. It just takes a little bit of extra muscle. I'm sure as you do it once or twice, it'll be fine. And of course, flip out the windows here, or the mirrors. Yeah, there we go. It's MP-10. Let's take this and we'll drop it here so we can take a good look at him here. And he's not looking too shabby. There's obviously something with the front of the truck that this side doesn't feel like it's sitting quite right, but it doesn't seem too horrible. You see we got that little gap here. If this was up a little bit more, which may just be some kind of looseness here, but it's not horrible. It's not as bad as I saw the one picture online, that's for sure. The truck is a lot more convincing looking than it was there. Wheels, it rolls, it's rubber. Maybe not as nice, definitely not as nice as a regular MP-10 rolls, but not too bad. Comparison here, we might as well compare things. Here is MP-10, who now somehow is exactly the same size in terms of truck mode here. You can see how some of our detailing is played out, where we got some more details, some turn signals, some little pull bars here. The sides, just way more detail going on the knockoff with the turn signals, like the steps. I'm not sure what these pipes would be. The little ladder thing, which is much more loose on this than it is on your standard MP-10. But that detailing goes all the way back. Though we did lose the little texture of this like graded area there. So it's not a perfect knockoff by any means, but certainly feels improved. I like the changes, the tail lights. It really looks pretty solid, and somehow I don't see how the two were necessarily a different size when they were in robot mode. Actually, you can see if we bring this on up a little bit more, there is a slight difference in the overall cab dimensions between the two of them, but really nothing major. So I suppose the next question we have is if you do have an MP-10 and for whatever reason wanted to buy this one so you could display one in truck mode and one in robot mode, you'll be happy to know that the trailer does just tab on just perfectly, to the point that it does hold MP-10 together. It does make these fuel canisters pop out a little, but that might actually be a result of the legs not pushing in correctly. I have a feeling one of them didn't clip up all the way, so I'm going to open them up and take a look at why that is. But yeah, that certainly works. Perhaps you have the Year of the Horse Optimus here, and that will peg in just the same. So yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. So the big question is, are the improvements and stuff worth the price? Because this guy does fetch a $120 shipped price tag for the knockoff of Optimus versus what the real, well, the Japanese real one is now going for insane prices of like $300 or more in some cases. I think if you're lucky you can find it for $2 something. The American version is easily going for $2 something now. So finding an actual MP-10 with the silver trailer is becoming particularly difficult to do. And I'm trying to put his trailer on, but I can't see from behind the camera here. Come on, trailer. Actually, you know what it is? It's that this MP-10 could use the improvements to make his legs close better. If that did have that improvement, he would work better. There we go. Comparison. So yeah, this guy with this trailer is getting ridiculously difficult to find. At some point in the future, I suspect we'll see some reissue of him, or a recolor at the very least. Ultra Magnus is coming, probably get him in America too. So, you know, you still have this. Now, the Year of the Horse is out and is pretty much the same price as this guy, except he doesn't have the chrome here. He has the gold, but like I said, if you take a Q-tip 91%, you could make your Year of the Horse look like this without all the extra little detailing. So it's kind of a toss-up though. The other thing is, if you mess up your chrome and you do take it off, then you need to paint your Year of the Horse to actually make it look pretty decent, where this guy's already done. No spike on this guy, no roller, no trailer, just 120 bucks for this and the accessories that go with Prime. It's a little bit steep, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I can necessarily justify picking it up. I think all the extra paint apps on here look great. I think it actually makes this guy feel kind of comparatively bland when you start picking out all these. This actually feels like it was done by you know, some customizer online, and maybe I bought a custom off eBay that was just Optimus. And when you look at it that way, it's suddenly not so bad to spend $120 on this guy. And I think you can do worse if you want the actual, you know, MP-10 colored Optimus. So I don't think it is the worst purchase. I don't think that, you know, if you can get the Hasbro version for 100 or like 150, I think just skip this guy and get the whole package and you'll be happier. But this is a totally viable option if you're not comfortable with trying to get the gold off the Year of the Horse and you just want an Optimus. And let's face it, most people's shelves aren't going to include the whole trailer. I'm kind of a weirdo that I display my Optimus with his trailer. Most people probably won't, and just having Optimus as the cab is pretty good. And outside of the few little issues which really the issues stem from this chrome piece here and these lights not really plugging in as solidly as I'd like, they still look pretty good. It's not a bad looking truck. So this is T2RX6. I hope this actually helped you guys make a decision if you think this knockoff is worth it. To me, I'm glad to have him in my collection, and he definitely has a place. So I'll see you guys next week for some Sharkticons.